Hello and welcome, I am Adele, and this is the end of Dystopian Age Week, and I've got to say this is a great way to end this, the Armoured Clash Battle for Singapore box. And I've got to say, calling it a two-player introductory set and not a two-player starter set actually adds a lot, is a big difference. It adds so much to it and made me change my entire review and opinion on this box in some places. Actually, in one place, but I will get to that. And I've got to say, War Cradle have knocked out of the park. This is a fun game. It's well worth your time to play. Getting into Armoured Clash right now is going to help you and enjoy the wargaming hobby as a whole. I will say it is epic scale, so painting it may be a little bit more tricky than your usual games that you would play, as always. But I've got to say, it's worth it. The models are well detailed. But this is, like I said, a two-player introductory set. And at £95, I swear, I promise you, I think this is money well spent. And let me get into why. This is such a lovely box. Why did I do that? I don't want to add two. Anyway, so we have the two armies. First things first, I'm going to talk about the terrain. I'm not a fan of terrain in boxes. Most companies, I find, up the price of their starter sets just by adding terrain to almost a ridiculous level. And I'm not a fan of that. I think it's a disgusting way to bring up a price of a box because you've thrown in some terrain. War Cradle have not done this here. It's a £95. It's the same price as Dystopian Wars. It's £1 more than Wild West Exodus. So there's this, they have a baseline for their starter set and it's 95 quid. And I cannot make any complaint about that. When you have a company and you go, I want to buy the starter set, and you know the starter set's coming, you know what price it's going to be. They have set their baseline. They've set a line in the sand and they said £95 is what you're going to be paying for an introductory set. Obviously, in future, prices will rise, as always, but it's not going to be like a yearly price rise, just something that happens. But the fact is, they've been this price for so long, I cannot see it changing in a long time, and having this line in the sand that says our starter boxes are going to be 95 quid, I cannot complain. And you get two really cool factions. You get the Crown and the Empire, and this is fantastic choices for your introductory set. I got a feeling the Crown might be the big boys in the Armoured Clash of this edition. Just kind of things I've seen happening with some of the stuff you get. But maybe not. With War Cradle, we know they tend to do lots of different boxes with different armies, which is fine, again. So, you get the Crown, and the Crown have some lovely miniatures. We're going to go through all the miniatures and just, look at them. They're very lovely. And you have the Empire, again, some very lovely, well-detailed miniatures. But what makes them so spectacular within this box is that they are so diametrically opposed aesthetically. They do not look anywhere near the same. They're so very, very different. And I think that actually helps this to be a two-player set. You don't have two armies that can be slightly similar. This is the basic infantry for your Crown. And this is your big resin boy you get. Big boy on a bike. And as you can see, the models look so nice. These are epic scale, and just some of the detail on here, like on the cannon there, you can always draw a hole, I don't, on the tunics, on the boots, look at this bootstraps. This is epic scale, and this is something you'd really expect on something big. Again, you've got nice lovely tanks. Look at the details on the side and on the wheels and on the tracks. Again, epic scale stuff, and they've put so much love into it, and it just oozes out. If every single model you see, it's just something else. I gotta say, I love this paint scheme for the tanks. I'm thinking of going green jackets for my basic infantry, but yeah, I might do this for my tanks. As you can see, this is a lovely walker. If this was in the same scale as Wild West Exodus, I would probably get it and would say, GW's been topped with walkers. This is a fantastic looking, well designed walker. I love it. I think it's such a nice kind of jaunty little model, and it fits the Crown perfectly. As you can see, you've got these big pipes showing that the Crown is somewhat backward technologically speaking. And the robot horses, everyone else is using jet bikes, but the Crown's still using horses. And these are almost as well detailed as the ones for Wild West Exodus. Just shows, again, there's so much love that goes into this game. And you can see it with every single model, but they love this game. But they are so proud of what Armoured Clash. As you can see, this is the Empire. Look at the detail on that banner. Again, it's love, and it looks so cool. I think they look so fantastic, and this just furthers and strengthens my opinion that Wild West Warcradle make the best plastic miniatures right now. Because just look at it. Just look at the detail on these guys. Look at the smoke rising on the jetpacks. It's something else. I love the tanks here. I always call them Pokeballs. But the Empire tanks look so cool. Again, it's so diametrically opposed to what the Crown is producing and what you can use for the Crown. It's going to look different, and you're going to have two different armies. And it just shows you that they put so much love into it. Again, the cavalry is different. It's jet bikes here compared to robot horses. I don't know what to say about this. These are pretty much the same because, you know, big cannons on wheels. And here's the terrain. It's modular terrain. And you get, and I want to show you, this is what kind of makes me tell you, this is what tells me this is a 2-player set. 2 bits of terrain. You go, okay, 2 bits of terrain. But then you see everything else comes in pairs. You've got 2 sets of measuring sticks, 2 sets of dice, 2 sets of tokens, 2 quick start rules. Yes, this is my one kind of peeve with it. I would have preferred a full rulebook. Maybe gone down the conquest route with 2 rulebooks without the lore. There is loads of lore in the big rulebook, by the way, and it's worth its money for a 10 on its own. But yeah, 2 quick start rules. 2 read it first. And there's also a campaign box as well. A campaign book. And the campaign book is really good. It's nice. It's hefty. It's thick for a introductory campaign. It's got loads of lore in it and tells you why they are fighting and why it is. And that's what makes this so good. Now, my official review, because I'm actually going to give a second one for a different reason, is I'm going to give this 9 out of 10. It is literally that rulebook which kind of brings it down for me. Personally, I would have preferred a full rulebook. Like I said, the same way that Conquest do it, just remove the lore. You only get the data sheets for the 2 armies, but then, to be fair, this is Warcradle, which means all the data sheets will be free anyway. So it's a bit of a peeve if you don't, but you can download and print them anyway. Doesn't become a big deal, because as long as it's free, I don't really like complaining about it. So yeah, this is a 2-player starter set. It's not designed for one person to buy on their own. It's for 2 people to play. And this is an introductory set because it's getting people to introduce Armoured Clash to their friends, because they can just say, right, I've got this game, do you want to play it? You don't need to bring anything. I got a spare rule set, I've got a spare tokens, spare measuring stick. I've got everything you need to play, including an army. And that's what makes it a great introductory set and not a starter set. Now, 9 out of 10 is my official review. However, I've got to give it a 10 out of 10 personally, because you get a map with it. A full map of all the territories of the factions in Armoured Clash. And if you guys know me, and you know that I love proper technical lore, so having these political outlines on a map, I love it. I frickin' do. And I think it's absolutely amazing. It's a huge map too. I do not have a frame big enough for it. I love it. And on the other side is actually the artwork from the box. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Oh God, it's so cool. I love it. And I'll see you on the next one. If you wish to purchase this game for £95, you can see it down below in Raylan Games. It'll be free delivery. Don't worry about that part. And there's other wargaming stuff there with up to 20% off. There is Forbidden Planet as well, for comics, DVDs, mangas, etc, etc, etc. There's my merchandise, my comics, and there is Skyforge, never forget Skyforge, and Patreon, because business. Bye-bye.